Have you ever stopped to think about the energy around your dining table? That humble space where families gather, where meals are shared, and where connections are made. It may hold more influence over your life than you think. In Buddhist teachings, every object, every space, and every detail in our lives carries energy, and the dining table is no exception. It's not just a place for eating, it's the heart of your home, where the energy of nourishment, connection, and prosperity should flow freely. But what if some common habits are quietly disrupting this flow? In this video, we'll dive into 5 everyday things you may be doing that could be sabotaging your peace, health, and prosperity, without even realizing it. From chip bowls to the presence of money, medicine, and electronic devices, we'll explore how these seemingly small details can shape the energy of your home. Ready to transform your space and invite positive energy back in? Let's begin. 1. Chipped or cracked bowls and plates. In today's fast-paced world, we often overlook the small details that surround us. The cracks in a bowl, the chips on a plate, these imperfections seem like minor inconveniences, things we barely notice amidst the daily rush. Yet in the teachings of Buddhism, these seemingly insignificant objects carry profound meaning, often pointing to deeper truths that we might not immediately recognize. Imagine sitting down for a meal at a table filled with chipped plates and cracked bowls. At first glance, these broken items might appear harmless, simply a byproduct of daily use. But in Buddhist philosophy, these damaged objects represent something much more significant, a reflection of imbalance in our lives. Buddha once said, "Everything is impermanent, everything is subject to change." This fundamental teaching speaks not only to the transient nature of life, but to the fragility of the things we often take for granted. The world around us, including our homes and possessions, is in constant flux. Yet in our pursuit of convenience, we sometimes ignore the subtle energies that objects can carry. We accept broken things as part of life, unaware that these imperfections are symbols of deeper disruptions in the energy flow around us. Take, for example, the cracked bowl or chipped plate. In Buddhist thought, objects are not just lifeless materials. They are reflections of the inner world. When we allow broken things to fill our environment, we are unconsciously inviting instability and imbalance into our lives. Just as a cracked bowl can no longer properly hold food, a home filled with damaged items can no longer hold peace, health, or prosperity. Think about it. When you sit down for a meal, what is the first thing you notice? A pristine, well-maintained table set with unblemished plates creates a sense of calm and harmony. It invites you to feel nourished and safe, both physically and emotionally. But a crack in your bowl, even if small, subtly shifts the energy. It sends an unconscious message of lack and imperfection, turning what should be a source of nourishment into a symbol of instability. This brings us to the deeper lesson. When we replace broken objects with new, unblemished ones, we are not just cleaning up the space, we are symbolically restoring balance to our environment and to our lives. It's an act of clearing the path for abundance to flow freely. Just as the Buddha teaches us that inner peace and enlightenment come from aligning our actions with the world around us, so too does peace in our lives come from tending to the smallest details in our environment. This principle is tied to the Buddhist concept of right intention, the idea that every action, no matter how small, should align with our deeper aspirations for peace, balance, and harmony. Replacing chipped and cracked tableware is an act of intention, of creating an environment where the energy of wholeness can thrive. It's not just about having a clean home, it's about making space for the good things in life, health, love, and prosperity. In Buddhist teachings, it's said that the mind is everything. What you think, you become. If our environment reflects brokenness and disorder, so too will our minds. But when we surround ourselves with completeness, we invite peace and prosperity into our lives. The simple act of replacing broken bowls and plates with fresh, intact ones can be a profound reminder that balance and harmony begin in our surroundings. Just like a clean, stable bowl can hold nourishing food, a home filled with unbroken objects can hold peace, happiness, and abundance. By replacing what is damaged, we align our physical environment with our inner aspirations, creating a space that supports the flow of positive energy. It's a small act, but it has the power to transform our entire lives, one plate at a time. 2. Money is something we all desire. It's something we strive for, chase after, and dream of having more of. Yet how many of us truly understand its deeper meaning? In Buddhism, wealth is not simply about the accumulation of material goods. It's about the flow of energy. Money carries its own unique energy, one that can either nourish or disrupt the life it enters, depending on how we treat it. Buddha once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This teaching invites us to reflect on our relationship with wealth. In Buddhist philosophy, wealth isn't a goal in itself, but a tool to foster well-being, to connect with others, and to create positive energy. But like any tool, it can either be used mindfully to serve us or misused, causing imbalance and anxiety. Let's consider the dining table, a sacred space for connection, nourishment, and family togetherness. It's a place where we share not just food, but our lives, our joys, and our struggles. Yet how often do we find ourselves placing money on that very table, loose change, bills, checks, or even reminders of overdue payments? Money, when placed in the center of our shared spaces, brings with it an energy that can disrupt the peace we've tried to create. Imagine sitting down for a meal with your family, ready to enjoy some quality time. But there, right in front of you, is a stack of bills or a note reminding you of a financial obligation. Suddenly, your thoughts shift from the meal in front of you to the anxiety of unpaid debts or the uncertainty of meeting financial demands. In that moment, the energy of money has transformed the atmosphere. What should be a time of nourishment and connection has become overshadowed by stress and worry. These are the unseen effects that money can have on our well-being when we allow it to occupy our spaces of peace. Buddha teaches us the practice of non-attachment, the understanding that material wealth is fleeting and that it should not control us. Do not chase after the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment, Buddha reminds us. Money, like any other material object, is impermanent. It flows in and out of our lives just as the seasons change. But when we hold on to it too tightly or allow it to dominate our thoughts, we disrupt the natural flow of energy in our lives. Money is meant to flow, much like water in a river, smooth, steady, and without obstruction. When we place money on the dining table, we stop that natural circulation, turning it into stagnant energy. It becomes like a pond that collects debris, losing its vitality and purpose. So how do we restore balance? The solution is simple. We must learn to respect the flow of money by storing it properly. Instead of allowing it to clutter the sacred spaces of our home, we can place it where it belongs, in a wallet, a drawer, or a safe. By doing so, we are honoring the energy of money, acknowledging that it should move freely in our lives. To further invite abundance, consider creating a prosperity jar in the southeast corner of your home, a space traditionally associated with wealth and feng shui in Buddhist practice. Fill the jar with coins, small bills, or items that symbolize prosperity. This practice isn't about hoarding or stockpiling wealth. It's about creating an environment that invites the energy of abundance into your life. In Buddhism, the law of attraction is closely tied to our intentions. When you place a symbol of abundance in a space meant to receive, you set the stage for prosperity to enter naturally, without effort or force. Buddhism teaches us that energy, whether it's money, relationships, or health, is interconnected. When we respect the natural flow of energy, We create a harmonious environment where everything flows freely. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves, said Buddha. In the same way, when we respect the flow of wealth, it brings balance and peace into our lives. Money is not an enemy, but a companion that should be treated with reverence. By allowing money to circulate naturally, you invite more of it into your life, while creating space for deeper peace and connection. Respecting the energy of money isn't about rejecting material wealth. It's about recognizing it as a tool that, when used mindfully, can enrich our lives and the lives of others. By respecting its flow, we not only create space for prosperity, but also for love, harmony, and peace in our relationships and our home. So next time you sit down at your dining table, take a moment to consider how money is present in that space. Is it disrupting your peace, or is it an invitation for abundance? Make space for the energy you want to flow into your life, whether it's financial, emotional, or spiritual, and watch how your world transforms. 3. Medicine. In countless homes, medicine is often left out on the dining table, whether for convenience or simply out of habit. Perhaps it's a bottle of painkillers, a prescription to be taken after a meal, or even a family member's daily dose of medication. It seems like an innocent act, a small detail that doesn't seem to matter much in the grand scheme of life. However, in Buddhist practice, this seemingly trivial action carries deeper meaning than we may realize. Medicine, which is intrinsically linked to illness and weakness, disrupts the natural flow of healing energy in your home. The dining table, in its essence, is a space for connection and nourishment, a place where families gather to share not only meals, but love, warmth, and conversation. When we place medicine on this sacred space, we are introducing an energy that shifts the very nature of that gathering. Instead of peace, we are left with the energy of illness, a constant reminder of discomfort, suffering, and fragility. It's a disruption of the balance we seek in the space where we nourish both our bodies and our souls. In Buddhist philosophy, health is more than just the absence of sickness. True health is a balance of mind, body, and spirit. The Buddha taught, to keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to trim the way. In other words, the state of our physical health is deeply intertwined with our spiritual and mental well-being. When we surround ourselves with reminders of illness, especially in places meant for connection, we unknowingly invite an imbalance into our lives. Imagine this scenario. You've gathered with your family at the table for a meal, but sitting in the middle of the table is a bottle of medicine. Your attention shifts from the nourishment in front of you to the reminder of illness sitting in your midst. No matter how subtle, this presence of medicine can cloud the atmosphere. Instead of focusing on the joy of togetherness and nourishment, your mind drifts toward the thoughts of sickness and discomfort. It's not just about physical health. It's the mental and emotional energy that this small act consumes, creating a barrier to the peaceful, healing energy that should reside in your home. The solution is simple yet powerful. Store your medicine in a designated, out-of-sight space, a cabinet, a drawer, anywhere away from the dining table, where your family comes together to share love, food, and stories. This isn't just about tidiness. It's about intentionally creating an environment that nurtures your well-being, not one that continually reminds you of illness. In Buddhist teachings, everything is interconnected. The energy of your environment, whether it's in your home, workplace, or community, reflects the energy within you. The state of your environment influences the state of your mind and vice versa. When we clear the dining table of reminders of illness, we consciously invite balance and healing into our lives. By removing the clutter of sickness, we make room for the energy of vitality, wellness, and joy to flow freely through our homes. Buddhism also teaches us that true healing happens when we nurture not only the body, but also the mind and spirit. In the Dhammapada, it is said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. When we let go of the reminders of illness, We make space for thoughts of health, peace, and vitality to enter. A clean, clear dining table, free from the distractions of sickness, becomes a beacon of well-being, where conversations flow freely, meals are truly nourishing, and every moment spent together is one of love and growth. The simple act of removing medicine from the dining table is not just about organization. It's about reclaiming your home as a space of healing and connection. It's about setting an intention that your family deserves peace, vitality, and balance. By doing so, you invite the energy of good health, positive change, and deep well-being to flourish in your home. Let go of the clutter of sickness and create the space for wellness to bloom. Let your home be a sanctuary for healing, where every meal shared nourishes not just the body, but the soul. Just as the Buddhist teachings guide us to find balance in our lives, let your home reflect that balance in the way it nurtures, heals, and supports all who enter it. 4. Electronic devices. In today's digital age, we are surrounded by technology, phones, tablets, laptops. They have become extensions of ourselves, often more present in our lives than the people sitting beside us. The convenience they offer is undeniable. But what if I told you that these devices, while making our lives easier, may be slowly eroding the most important relationships in our lives? Picture this. You gather around the table with your family, ready to share a meal. The food is hot, the atmosphere is warm, and the intention is to connect. But instead of sharing stories, laughter, and meaningful moments, you find yourselves consumed by your screens. You're scrolling through social media, replying to emails, or watching videos, disconnected from the moment, disconnected from each other. In Buddhism, we are taught that true connection comes from being fully present. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." In this modern world, when we place our attention on our devices instead of the people in front of us, we allow that energy to shape our interactions. The energy of the dining table shifts from one of love, warmth, and intimacy to one of distraction and isolation. Over time, these small, subtle moments of emotional distance can grow into deeper divides, weakening the bonds that should be strengthened over shared meals. It's not just about the emotional disconnect. Buddhism also teaches that everything carries energy. Every thought, every action, and even every object. The electromagnetic waves emitted by electronic devices are invisible, but they have an effect. These waves disrupt the peaceful flow of energy in our surroundings. Instead of inviting calm, they bring stress, restlessness, and anxiety into the home. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think." When we allow our minds to be consumed by the digital world, we invite chaos into the sanctuary of our home, a place that should be reserved for peace and connection. So what can we do about it? The answer is simple. Set a no-device rule for the dining table. Instead of reaching for your phone, use mealtime as a sacred opportunity to truly engage with your family. Share your day, ask meaningful questions, laugh, and connect. This small change can work wonders. By disconnecting from the digital world, we reconnect with the ones we love. The Buddha wisely said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." When we set aside our devices, we make space for true peace, presence, and connection. The energy around the table transforms into one of warmth and love, fostering a sense of togetherness and healing. By being fully present with our loved ones, we create an environment where meaningful connections can thrive. 5. Trash and use napkins. Think about the last time you sat down to a meal. Was the dining table inviting and clear, or was it cluttered with leftover food, crumpled napkins, and packaging? It may seem like a small issue, but a cluttered table can have a profound impact on not only the energy of your dining experience, but your entire life. In Buddhist philosophy, we learn that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. The Buddha taught a clean mind is a happy mind. The state of our environment mirrors the state of our consciousness. A cluttered, disorganized space can create mental and emotional chaos, blocking the flow of positive energy into our lives. The remnants of a meal, leftover food, used napkins and wrappers, are not just physical objects. They represent stagnation, a lack of order, and, on a deeper level, a refusal to let go of the past. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of letting go, both mentally and physically. When you let go of the past, you make room for the present. Leftover food and discarded napkins symbolize what has already been consumed, what is no longer needed. Holding on to these remnants clutters the space, making it harder for fresh energy to flow in. Just as a stagnant pond breeds decay, a cluttered environment fosters negativity and prevents new, positive energy from entering. The act of cleaning up after a meal is more than just a task. It's a practice of mindfulness, of setting the intention to welcome fresh energy into your home. When we clear the table, we symbolically clear the way for prosperity, health, and happiness. By maintaining a clean and inviting dining area, we are not just creating an aesthetically pleasing environment, we are nurturing the flow of abundance and well-being. Buddhism teaches us that cleanliness is not just physical, it's a reflection of clarity and intention. By keeping your dining table clean and free of trash, you are fostering an environment that supports your well-being on all levels, physical, emotional, and spiritual. A tidy table invites calmness, promotes good health, and strengthens relationships. It's a simple yet powerful act that can have profound effects. The next time you sit down for a meal, reflect on the state of your dining table. Is it a reflection of the life you want to cultivate? A clean, clear table will nurture your family, your health, and your prosperity. By clearing away the clutter, you're not just making your home look nicer, you're making room for the good things to come. Just as the Buddha taught, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. If you make space for harmony and clarity, that's what will manifest in your life. By now you can see that the small things matter. Chipped plates, scattered money, medicine left on the table, and cluttered surfaces all send subtle signals to the universe about what you are inviting into your life. These simple yet profound practices, replacing broken tableware, storing money properly, clearing clutter, are not just about tidiness. They are about creating the right conditions for abundance, health, and harmony to thrive in your home. The Buddha taught, what you think, you become. If your home is a space of peace and balance, your mind and heart will naturally follow. The dining table, a place of nourishment and connection, should be free of distractions and negativity, a space that invites real connection and joy. So take action today. Clear your table, store your medicine in its rightful place, put away the devices, and create an environment that nourishes not just your body, but your soul. The energy of your home is the energy you invite into your life. Make it a place that radiates peace, prosperity, and love. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on how to align your environment with your spiritual journey. May your home be filled with positive energy and your life with abundance.